Hello and welcome back to the Vibe Online podcast with myself, Megan, and Karen.
Hello.
Our episode today is episode 29. Now, this is going to be an episode that we really want you guys to listen in on and think about, and perhaps take some thoughts away with you on what we're going to share with you today within this episode. So, just recently, Karen and I, especially through some of the training and learning that we've been doing, is really reflecting back on our journeys over the past couple of years, and also where we're going to be going over the years to come, and kind of what this business and this industry can offer people when it comes to getting involved in something for yourself, but also something that is ethical, purposeful, that is with the times. And we've felt so much lately that where this is going is going to really support everyone with the way that all kinds of aspects of life are going. So we're going to be sharing with you some stuff that we've been learning over the past short time. And yeah, we want you to have a think and take some stuff away from this. So, Karen, do you want to start kind of sharing where we're at right now and giving the listeners a little bit about, where we're going and some things to think about?
Yeah, it's really important to certainly look at where you are now and kind of look at where you want to be in just a couple of years. What me and Meg were just talking about actually before we started recording was what Bill Gates has actually said about network marketing, which is really, really interesting. I'm going to read it out because I've got it here on my other screen. So Bill Gates says, I'm often asked why I'm so passionate about network marketing. I tell people it's because network marketing is the ultimate equalizer. It levels the playing fields between the haves and have-nots. And it gives people who don't have a lot of money the opportunity to build a business and create wealth. And ultimately, that's why we're here. We never came into this with money. We knew we wanted to create a life that we didn't have, and to be able to do that we had to kind of like step into the unknown and face the skepticism and fears that are absolutely completely normal, that a lot of people go through. I certainly went through them. Meg went through none, so everybody's journey is very, very different. So nobody's story is ever going to be the same, nobody's journey is ever going to be the same. But if you want something, then ultimately you need to ask the questions and find out about what area of network marketing you want to go into. There's so many different areas there. There's high ticket, there's low ticket, there's MRR, there's the list goes on. It's endless. You've got to find something that you're passionate about. And this is also what me and Meg want to touch on, is the fact that we are super passionate about our businesses, the products that we work with, the company and the company's mission that is so aligned to us, and the fact that we get to spread true health and create sustainability across the planet is just incredible. And with that, we get to change people's lives every single day. So every single person we bring into this business, whether you have money, whether you don't have money, whether you need to save to make that opportunity start, it really doesn't matter, because the opportunity is there for absolutely everybody. Every day, normal people start this business every single day, and within 2 years, you can completely change your life. And on Friday, we are on Sunday today while we're recording this podcast, 2 days ago, I hit my 2-year mark in the business.
Congratulations.
So, thank you very much. And within that time, if you follow me, you will know, and some new listeners perhaps don't know the fact that I was able to quit the 9 to 5. So a short window, a short space of time. Sorry. A call. 2 seconds. This is not meant to happen. Anyway, these things happen. Where was I? So totally put me off. Within 2 years, my whole life has completely changed. I never imagined when I started this business I would be completely free from the 9 to 5, owning my time, my location of where I worked, and having changed so many other people's lives within my journey. And then I'll pass it back to you now, Meg. When we were watching Eric Worre GoPro when we were together just last week, we had a great few days together, really intentional business days, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Those of you who may know Eric Worre within this industry, or maybe you don't know who he is, he is the top leader within this industry, and he is a very well respected knowledgeable man who started his journey back in 2009, was it, I think, initially?
Yeah, and he's well respected within both in the network marketing space, but also the corporate space, because that's where he originally came from. So, being respected so highly in both regards, he has such a level head of kind of how all industries work and all companies work, and he helps corporate as well as network marketing. And we've we've titled this episode "Define Your Time or Let It Define You." Karen's just touched on it just briefly there. She's just hit her 2-year anniversary being in this business, and she's completely transformed her life, as we both has. But she's left the corporate world. She now does this full time. She has that experience there as well. But we're also looking ahead 2 years, back 2 years and ahead 2 years. And we really want this episode to kind of hit and have a think about, where have you been in the past 2 years? What has been happening for you in the past 2 years? And where do you want to be in the next 2 years? Now, when you chat about Eric Worre there, for anybody that is interested in the industry or understanding more, he has an incredible book, which is almost like a Bible to network marketing. It's called Go Pro by Eric Worre. We'll pop it in the show notes as well. It's a great one to get started with to understand more about the industry, and kind of how this opportunity can really change people's lives. So on that, he, we all know that in the past few years with the pandemic and COVID happening and the lockdowns and everything that went on in the last few years, how unprecedented it was. And it was nothing to be expected. And we didn't know one day from the next and how that was going to change our reality and our future as well. And I think the way that network marketing has just kind of fitted into that, what was a horrific time for so many people, and the way that it's now developed in the sense that it's made us all kind of evaluate where we're at, who we are, where we want to be, what kind of lifestyle do we want to live, what's the flexibility that we want. Because I know so many people lost their jobs and their businesses throughout that time. They also lost family members, and it's that thought of, well, what am I actually, let's take note on where I'm at, because it's certainly done that for me after I was commuting into London every day looking after an empty office, and I was like, well, where is my life going here? Where is actually my purpose? Where's my value? I'm spending all of this time in a job that, yes, I enjoyed the job because it was something that it was great. I worked with good people, but actually, where was my value there? Where was my purpose? Where was the time that I was spending? Was it something that, and I also wanted time for myself to develop myself as an individual, my own mindset, my personal growth, my development, and also lay foundations for my future and my future family. Could I honestly imagine that if there was another pandemic or something like this was going to happen again, and I had to leave my family at home to go and work in wherever it would be, commute? But no, what I really want to be doing is be at home, create my home, have a safe family where I can look after them. I don't want to have to put kids into daycare and do this and that. I know we've kind of touched on this previously in other episodes, and I won't go too deep into it now because we want to give you a lot of value within this podcast here. But it's something that you've probably thought about it already, like all of that time within that period. What does it all mean? Why are we all here? What are we doing for this? And I think the beautiful thing about network marketing, I certainly felt when I found this opportunity, and yeah, I had actually no idea what network marketing was. So that's probably why I had no skepticism towards it, because I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know. I came across the opportunity and I saw it for what it was. I saw it for the face of it, and I was speaking to the people that were in it, doing it, and I could just see it changing people's lives and people blossoming and be able to develop. So I didn't really have any of that resistance towards it, because I was like, this is exactly what I want. I can see it for what it is, and this is what I want, and I'm going to go for it. And just seeing over the time how it's just I mean, network marketing has been around since like the age of
Yeah.
when life began, really, because networking with people and doing those kind of sales and that business face to face has always been around for years and years and years. So it shouldn't be anything new to people. It's just the way that it's now developed, that we can now do it online, that people get a little bit resistant about. But now, seeing how it's developing and where it's going over the next 2 years, because it just suits people's needs so perfectly, that we all know that we want more community and people to connect with and build proper relationships with and real human connection, especially having been locked down and removed from each other for so long. And then something that is ethical, purposeful, that you can make an impact in other people's lives, develop yourself into the most incredible person, help other people to do that too. That to me just fits the new era of what we've now moved into. And what over the next 2 years, as Eric Worre rightly says, is it's going to be the most important and defining time of many, many, many people's lives. And we now get to choose what side of the coin do we want to be on. Do we want to be on the place where we've taken action and we've completely transformed our life and we're going with the times? Or are we not going to take action and sit where we've sat and then allow life to happen and however things are going to change and then have huge regret or not being a stable, suitable environment that we really hope that we would be because of the fact that we've had a bit of fear or not taken the leap or not educated ourselves and allowed ourselves to learn more about this and where the world is going.
Yeah, really important there, Meg, when you said about the definition of time, the definition of do you let the time define you, or do you define the time?
Mm,
You know, and so many people are very, shall we say, comfortable in a environment that they may not be happy in, but they're comfortable in because they have the security of the monthly pay, the pension, which, you know, we've touched on before, is that even still going to be around, you know, in a few years to come.
yeah, right.
It's pretty scary. Whereas some people who are listening may have 20, 30, 40, 50, if you're super young, still working until you hit that retirement age, right? And that's a scary amount of years that you're giving your life to somebody else for. Whereas you could really like be like, got in 2 years, I can like totally define my time and define my future. Yes, it's possible. It's like I for one, am proof, but there's thousands of others within the industry that are also proof that it's there. And again, you know, I think the beauty of you coming in and seeing network marketing for what it was and taking that leap and being like, this is what I'm looking for, with no resistance at all, was great. Whereas I had come, before I started this opportunity, I'd come from another network marketing business that didn't fully align with me, didn't really sit well. It was very typically like salesy of the product, which was not what I'm all about. I want to be able to help people with an opportunity that completely aligns with you, your values, your goals, and ultimately somebody that I want to be able to work with for the rest of our lives, because ultimately network marketing, you're going to be in it for life, right? So you're going to be working with these people forever. You want to make sure you're bringing the right people in. And I don't want to be bringing people in that, you know, you have to drag or push or force to
Mm,
be there. If you don't want to be here, guys, it's absolutely fine. There's always another opportunity there. But, you know, with this one, it really can define your life within 2 years. And to listen to Eric Worre and what he was saying, and the people in that room that he had that were making millions,
wow.
like, I mean, we had like, out of 400 people in a room, there were over 50 people making over £500,000 a year, and over 35 were making over 1 million. And the figures go on and on. Like, it was literally, me and Meg sat and like jaw dropped. One woman was still standing, and she was making over 10.5 million a month, a year.
Yeah,
Sorry, that is absolutely mind blowing. And the reality of it all is, they all started exactly where you and me are, where we've all come from. You know, none of these people have started with money. They've started
mm,
with nothing. Like me and Meg, you know, we started with taking out a credit card to invest into the business, and so is everybody else. So, you know, don't be fearful of that side of things. But 2 years to define your life for the rest of your life is just
yeah.
incredible. Such a short space of time.
It's always a level playing field, isn't it? And that's kind of what I liked about it as well. When people suggest, oh, you know, scam, pyramid scheme, this and that, and you know, and we like to educate people on it because people's perception on this is so
Yeah.
morphed, you know, because of whatever they might have heard back in the day, or a friend or the aunt down the road, as kind of mentioned, because of whatever's been happening. But honestly, when you come into this, and like we said, I had no skepticism because I didn't have any experience with it at all. But I could see this for what it was, and I was like, this is going to change the fucking world, and I want to be a part of it. And it's
Yeah,
not, you sometimes you've got to look at it and see it for what it is, but also maybe be a bit like, you've got to be selfish with this as well. Like, what can this actually offer me and my family? Like, doesn't care what what someone else says about it or has their opinion on it. What does it feel like for you? Like, what do you actually want from this? And when we talk about that, and if people ask, like, is network marketing going to last? Like I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, it has been the oldest form of marketing and sales for all of time, guys.
yeah,
Like, the word of mouth is the oldest form. And if you look at companies, okay, anything above 5 years is pretty good. All right. 60-ish companies that ever started an MLM, I believe, well, 60,000 or something, 2 to 3 years is pretty good. But the top 5% of network marketing companies that truly last and are incredible, between 5 to 10 years. Now, you've heard from me and Karen before, the opportunity that we are a part of, the company that we work with. They have been going for over, well, 50 years. In June 2024 will be their 50-year anniversary, which we are going to Japan with about thousands of other people that are within this business as well to celebrate. So a 50-year-old company that has always done their marketing offline is now utilizing online marketing for the past 15-20 years. You really can't go wrong with it. And when you understand the mission behind this, and the vision, and being able to share true health, and going back to kind of the pandemic and stuff, I think we all really realized how important our health truly is, and
yeah,
how we need to start incorporating things within our lifestyle that are giving us that health, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, whatever that looks like for you, in whichever way. I think it just really highlighted how important it is to do that. So when you're able to be a part of something that supports that wholeheartedly, and will literally do anything to help you be your best form of self in all ways of health, why would you not want to be a part of something like that, that's now moving into this space now, that is going to continue to, I mean, they've just put in their business plan for how many years? It's like 100 or 200-year business
yeah,
plan.
yeah,
They wouldn't be doing that if they were just this company that was just going to, disappear over
yeah,
time. They've been running for 50
exactly.
years. So
Yeah, and
yeah, I just
that's so
gone.
many years to project a future, isn't it? Like, but as you say, 10 to 15 years for 5 to 10 years for a company in network marketing, and ours has been around for 50. That's incredible. And now projecting the growth for the next 100 and odd years. But on a smaller time scale, within the next 3 years of this industry and this company, it's projected to increase by over 40%, which is huge. That is
Yeah,
massive.
yeah, huge.
So it just never ever stops. And it's funny because I think a lot of people, I certainly was like this. I, I don't know whether you've watched the Netflix series about McDonald's, the founder of McDonald's. Have you seen that?
No, I've heard of it though.
It's really, really good. So I know you obviously you don't watch telly, Meg, and I don't really watch telly, but I do like the good old sort of Netflix documentaries when it's stuff that's like that and
Yeah, I
education.
like the educational stuff for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if any of the listeners haven't, watched it, I would go and watch that, because this guy, I'll not give too many spoilers away, but this guy grafted, like he grafted in the beginning. There's obviously a story and a twist and everything that comes from that as well, but the door to door, typical American, I think I've spoke about this previously as well. That's how, middle age. That's how I see typical sales. That's how sales.
Mm,
That's how it started, I guess, back in the days when we didn't have online. Is you would take your product, you go around, you knock on houses, you cold call people, you do all this kind of stuff. We haven't got any of that now, so that whole stigma's gone.
yeah.
The whole stigma to the typical white American middle-aged man, typical salesman. Thank God it's gone, but that's now gone, and you have so many different people. We have young people joining this business as young as 21. We have people in the business. There's a woman in the business who is like in her 70s, and she absolutely does it for no other reason that she loves to help other people. You know, she doesn't need to work at that age, but she has this business that is fully supporting her life now, completely financially independent and financially free. But she keeps doing it because she has a love and a passion for
That's it.
others. And that's so important. Like, and I think there you touched a little bit on the mission statement of the company that we work for. And I think that's a great opener for us. And we'll probably do that for next week's podcast. We'll dive deeper into that, because I don't think we've covered that yet, and it's really important to kind of explain that a little bit more, and it might give you more of an understanding exactly to what this is and how it is very different to some of the other companies that are in the network marketing space. But ultimately, you know, I love nothing more than being able to help people get out of a situation that they were severely unhappy in, with next to no money, to having an incredibly thriving business and a community full of nothing but love and support.
I think that's such a beautiful part about this and about network marketing, because it is a human-based business, is that you come into it to change your own life, but then it becomes so much more, because you get so well looked after because of the industry and the business model that we're a part of, that you don't have those worries and those stresses that you initially had when you first came into it for. And that's what we was actually chatting just before we started this episode, and we was talking about our visions and our why and how it kind of changes and it develops over time. And it's so important to kind of go back to that and just check in with yourself and see where you're at with it. But where you start is not where you end up. You're constantly developing and growing, and to know that you can have a business, an opportunity where you don't have to work, because you're looked after with residual income, your family's looked after, you're able to live a lifestyle that you love, but you do it because you still have a passion for helping people. And what can be more fulfilling in life than knowing that you have a purpose to help people? You know, to know that you are making a change and impact not only in people's lives but in the rest of the world, and you're able to do that because of what you've developed and you've allowed yourself to do, and you've taken that action to want to change your life, so now you can change other people's. I honestly do not think that there is anything more fulfilling or way that you can feel so content in life, knowing that you've been able to do that for yourself and for others. And I know, like, you touched on the money side of things as well within the industry. The organization, the company that we work for, is over $1 billion company. And the industry itself, you know, in 2022 it was $201 billion industry, and it's projected to reach, you know, 329 to 350 billion by the end of 2030.
Yeah, which is not really that far away.
It's not far away. It's going to happen quick. And guys, $1 billion is a lot of money.
A lot of
It's
money.
huge and huge and huge. So that kind of, you know, we're talking 130, $150 increase within just a few years. It's huge. And it just goes to show you what the forecast is, and how network marketing is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And B, it is not a better time than right now to get involved in this, because especially with the business model that we work with, it hasn't even hit that kind of market leap yet. We're
Yeah.
still in the kind of beginning growth aspect, and we're talking 50 years here, guys. So if you think about that, and when it starts to hockey stick up, and then it's going to be here for another 100 years, like that, to me, is longevity of your future, and that's security and that's stability, and it's exactly why we come into this.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the reason, when I found out about the business model and what it can do for you, the fact that if you have kids or a family, everybody has family, you know, it's a business that's built that you can transfer over to them when we leave this planet. And to me, that was probably what nailed this deal for me to get started. Was, yes, the financial gain, the compensation plan, everything that came with it, the time freedom, location freedom that would come in time, which I now have. But to be able to know that I can secure my family and them not have to worry, was just like, yeah, I've never known a business that's got this business, which is phenomenal.
I think we can sometimes get caught up in just looking at what happens kind of next month, next year, and don't really set our expectations for, like, okay, where do I actually actually want to be in 5 years' time? Where do I
Yeah.
actually want to be in 10 years' time? What happens? For me personally, why I started this business is so that I can build those foundations for my family that isn't even here yet.
Mhm.
Before I even start a family, I want them to have that foundation of security and stability in financial aspects so that they can, not have to experience the things that I did when I was growing up and what society is kind of throwing at them at the moment. So yeah, it's important to think, where do I actually want to be? And sometimes I get people say, it's not the right time right now, which I fully appreciate. Everyone has seasons
Yeah.
in life, and sometimes it isn't the right time for people to kind of take this step, and fully wholeheartedly will respect and support you through that. But there is also an element of, when is going to be the right time?
Yeah.
When is actually the right time, and how long do you need to wait for you to have that validation that it's time for you to start stepping into this?
Yeah.
Because think about it. Karen, 2 years ago, she sat on it for how many months?
6 months.
And if she'd have started 6 months earlier and just gone for it, she would have been out of her job 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
But if we're looking over the next 2 years, the accelerated growth is going to even happen quicker and quicker and quicker for more and more people that come into this and just dive into it. Because all the statistics are there for you guys. Everything that you could possibly need and look at is there. All the training, everything is there. You just need to set aside your own limitations, your own mental restrictions, and open yourself up to development. Open yourself up and be open-minded and willingness to, be willing, be coachable, be hungry for what you want.
Definitely. It's so important to be hungry. Nobody's going to do this for you guys. Like, you need to push yourself. And I have so many calls with people, as we all do every week. And that's one thing I say to people, this may not be the right opportunity for you. And if you haven't got the hunger and drive to make it a success, you'll never succeed.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
cannot come into a business of any kind and expect somebody to drag you along. So you really, really, really need to want this. I wanted
And
it for
you
my children more than anything in the world, and I will never, ever stop.
Yeah, and you also can't expect it to be done for you. This
No.
isn't an opportunity that is level playing fields, and it does require a level of effort and time and investment from
Yeah.
yourself. But why wouldn't you want to do that? Because this is
Yeah.
yours and it's going to look after you for life.
For sure.
So, some things to take away from this episode, we hope, in how do you spend your time, and where do you want that time to be? Where do you want to be in 2 years? Do you want to be on this wave with us? Do you want to come along and be out of your job within 6, 12, 24 months, whatever it might take, and actually dive in to learn more about this? Because as we say all the time, if you want this, it's here for you. We will never ever persuade anyone, but give yourself the opportunity to learn about it and jump into your insight trial. Give yourself that risk-free 14 days just to say, actually, you know what? I've been listening to these guys for a while. I followed them for a while. Let's just see what the hell's going on with this opportunity that they keep banging on about.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be sitting there in 2 years' time and seeing, where me and Karen are going to be and thinking, God damn, why have I still not taken that step?
Yeah. I wish I'd done it sooner. And we do have people that reach out to us that say the same. So, don't be that person. If you want it, come and find out about it. We'll jump
Yeah.
on a call. We've got a 50-minute free webinar that is on our Instagram bios. Is on yours as well, Meg?
Yeah, mine's on there, yeah.
Jump on, have a look, check us out, and yeah, we look forward to speaking to you, because we want nothing more than to help you out of that situation that you're currently looking to escape. We all have a situation that we are looking to change. So
That's it. That's it. And I think just to touch on that as well, like, I think we might have touched on it before, but the instant gratification, expect it to take as long as it needs to take for you, but just know it's happening. Just
yeah,
know it's there and it's happening, and you are taking the step to change your entire life.
yeah,
Like you mentioned earlier, there are people that will be listening to this that have the next 30, 40, 50 years of employment before they retire. Do
yeah,
you want that to be the case, or do you want to just do the next 2 years and then you're out of it forever?
yeah, yeah. Such a short space of time. Such things change. Look at our lives now compared to what they were 2 years ago.
Oh, I love it so much.
I
I love it
know,
so much.
I know.
And honestly, guys, as well, whoever's listening to this, we love doing these podcasts for you as well, and to
Yeah,
share this with you, and to hear your feedback, and to see you reach out, and some of you getting started with this, and you're taking the steps to change your life. And honestly, that's all we could ever want. You know, we don't get paid to do these podcasts or anything like that. We do it out of genuine, genuine care and value for you guys, so that you can really see what this is going to do for you. So we hope you've taken a lot of value from this particular podcast. Reach out, let us know what the if there was any points that you were like, shit, goddamn, okay, I'm seeing it differently, or you have any questions for us, or in general you'd like us to touch on a particular topic or expand on anything that we've already spoken about. Do let us know, and yeah, I suppose we'll be catching you next week.
Yeah, we will see you all again next week, guys. But yeah, give us some feedback. Let us know what do you want to hear from us, and we will happily cover it in our next podcast. So have a wonderful day, whatever day it is that you tune into us, and have a listen, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good one, guys. Take care.